Hello everyone, welcome back to our Accounting 210. In this video, we try to finish chapter 4, right? We try to finish chapter 4, ABC costing. We said in the first video, we reviewed chapter 3, how do we do the manufacturing overhead allocation based on the plant-wide rate. In the second video, we did the departmental rate, right? We said, hey, using the plant-wide, there are some problem it can cause the cost distortion, so we use the departmental rate. And in the third video, we talk about the ABC costing. We said using department is not accurate enough. We have to allocate based on each activity, So we kind of got 6 activities from the textbook example. I hope you still remember. We said machine setup, material handling, and then fabricating, supervising, inspecting, and packing. So we just have 3 or 4 slides left for today. This part we talk about cost hierarchy. We said that there are 5 levels of activity. We said there are 6 activities. Yes, no problem, 6 activities, but they are different levels. So this is important because it's very easy to test you using the multiple choice format. Make sure you understand this part, okay? Make sure you understand this part. I think it's important for multiple choice for your exam. There are 5 levels. We go from the bottom and then going to the top. There is logic there, so you don't say, oh, I don't understand. There is logic. You will say, the first level is unit level activity. This activity is related with each unit. You will see detail in the next slide, so I keep it there. Next level, right, larger than unit will be batch level. And then, there are 4 levels. What am I talking about? There are 4 levels. And then the next level is product level. So all these activities are related with one specific product. And then the last level is the facility level. My bad, there are 4 levels. I think I said 5 levels. Sorry about that. There are 4 levels and there are 6 activities, right? So 4 levels. Let's look at each level in detail. We use this level to establish our cost pool. So we found out, hey, which level we should put in what pool. As we said, the first level is unit level. From the name, you can find out that it's related with every unit. You say, oh, what is this? Think about this. The inspecting and packing each unit. So if you inspect 1 unit, it costs you $1. You inspect 2 units, how much it costs? $2, right? You inspect 5 units, how much it costs? $5, you will tell me. So you can find out that it's related with each unit. So we call it a unit level. You need to know what's the meaning of unit level and what are the examples there. So I will say read your textbook. As I keep telling you, handout, PowerPoint, they just give you a general guideline. So you have to read your textbook to get all the details and the 4 examples there. I'll just put some very traditional or classical examples here. Read textbook to know all the details there, okay? Promise me. Second level is batch level. You kind of got the idea, right? So it's related with each batch. You ask me, what's the meaning of batch? There is a very good example. It's the machine setup. So when you set up the machine, you can produce a batch of 1 or 10 or 100 units, right? But they are all incurred for 1 machine setup cost. They are all called batch level activity. So for machine setup, it's the batch level. For inspecting and packing, that's unit level. Got the idea? I hope you get the idea. Next one, we call it a product level. You say, oh, what is this product level? So it's related with each product. It's related with one particular product. I put an example here. Our textbook also put example said, if you lease an equipment, to only manufacture a particular product, to only release our equipment for this specific product, then the cost for the lease will be product level activity. Put an example said your company also makes chocolate product and then also gummy bear candy. So the mode for the gummy bear will be only for that product. So that's the product level activity. And lastly, we have the highest level. We call it a facility level, right? Facility level. So everything for the kind of like the plant-wide. So like the depreciation, insurance, the tax, and maintenance for all the equipment, that will be the facility level. It's related with the facility. It's not about what product is not related with what batch or what unit is related with the overall, the upper level of the facility level. Okay, so make sure you know these 4 different levels. Learning objective 3, talking about benefits and limitation. I'm not going to talk too much detail. Make sure you read textbook, get general idea in case you will have a multiple choice. Good thing is, it's more accurate, and then we can use it to price our product, to cut the cost, and then have good control. I talked about this in the when we first talked about the departmental level. I said no matter what we use plant-wide or we use the departmental rate, the actual rate is always the same. Remember we said no matter how do you split the pizza is always there, right? So your actual cost is always the same. Your actual cost is always the same. It's just which product will be allocated with more or less manufacturing overhead cost. But the actual manufacturing overhead cost is always the same. It's always the same. Okay, I think, just this video is kind of short. I want to review the accounting level with you because look at your quiz. They are not hard ones. So I combine this video and then the review my accounting level video together. So let's look at all these multiple choice. 10 multiple choices. They are all concept style. So if you have any question with this multiple choice practice, make sure you read your textbook. Okay, make sure you. The first one basically asking you the 4 levels. I'm not going to really read. So are these facility level, yes or no? And next one said, if you have the separate manufacturing overhead rate for each department, then what rate you are using? You are use plant-wide or you use department or whatever, this, right? Next one, talking about also whether it's a facility level, yes or no. We just talk about that. Next one, talking about the unit level. So you can say how I can test you. Setup, machine setup is what level you should know it. Facility level, you should also know that. You can see it's really not that hard. And using departmental overhead rate, if we use this method, it will be more or less accurate than the plant-wide rate. You know the answer, right? Tell me you know it. And then for each unit, we know what is the level it is. Next one, cost distortion. What's the meaning of cost distortion? This is in your textbook. Make sure you read that part. And last one said, which of the following we should use the departmental rate rather than the plant-wide? We said there are 2 conditions you have to meet. Remember, go back to the PowerPoint, go back to our textbook. Okay, so I think really not so hard for chapter 4. As I say, I didn't focus on too much of the detailed calculation because the logic is always the same as chapter 3, the plant-wide. The numerator is the estimated manufacturing overhead cost. The denominator is just the cost driver. Only difference is for chapter 3, you only do that for the plant-wide, you get 1 rate. For chapter 4, you either do that steps for each department or for each different activity, and then you use the rate time your actual cost driver to get the cost allocation. And then in chapter 4, we also talk there are 4 levels of the cost. make sure you know what level. If I ask you, hey, machine setup is what level, you should know it's the batch level. So I think that's all. So I would say kind of enjoy this easy chapter and then really focus on chapter 2, chapter 3, have a good understanding on manufacturing overhead allocation, and be ready for chapter 6. It's chapter 6, we start talking about variable costing, those things. We go back to calculation. So be ready for that and let me know if you have any question. Thank you. I see you in next chapter. Bye.